Hi, welcome to the new members. What you saw at market open last night was the markets at their extreme. Very rarely have I seen such a gap at the open. I said last night the euro pairs would gap up, but no way did I think as much. If you were long from last week, I hope you closed your trades, because you know about gaps, that the market tries to find a way to gap back down and fill the gap, and I hope you closed them and banked your coin. If you flatten any euro pair, proceed with caution. I always tell you, never take a new trade at New York Open on a Friday, and only manage the trades you have open. I also tell you to only keep open long-term trades on weekends that are in very good profit. If you were short on the euro, last night's open would have told you why, over 170 pips at the open. Every now and again, I think the market just tells you who's boss and who's in control, and this is the markets at their silliest. For tomorrow, this is the euro dollar. Again, anything euro related, be very cautious and be very, very wary. If you're new, I'd sim anything euro tomorrow, because this gap up, is it a gap up and to go up, or has it come up and now it's actually going to fall, like a lot of us are waiting for it to do? You'll see today it bounced on the daily chart. It bounced off the 78.6 and it is halted by the 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart, which if you bring it up there, it's got halted here. So if we go back to the daily, it's currently sat on a monthly 55 EMA line on the 1 hour, and it's also sat on previous resistance of 135.88, as you can see here, this resistance line along here, and actually further back a few years ago. This still is technically in a downtrend for me, because it hasn't broken the 78.6 of the fib, so I'm not quite sure on this pair, so it really is best left alone. 3,500 will be interest tomorrow for possible bounce back up through the night. It might only go to 135.80. If price rise, look for resistance to short at 136.86, which would also be bang off this trend line here. By the time price gets up, again, it's where this fib 78.6 is. Look, if it gets back up here, I'd look to short that, or if it breaks that, 1.3737. So 1.3737 would be bang on where this trend line here would be, should it get up. It's also weekly 200 EMA. If I show you where that is, the 200 EMA is here. It's right there on that 137.30. It was 137.37 when I put this report earlier today. I would prefer to short off 37.30, 37.40 level off the 200 EMA. A lot more resistance. It's all very mixed, so be very, very careful with this pair tomorrow. The pound dollar gapped up as well last night, but has come down and has filled the gap. It's now 1.356. As you can see, it's moving here. I'm waiting for the dust to settle on this pair. 152.50 could be a possible bounce back up. As you can see here, it's quite a strong. It was resistance, now it's support. As you can see, price came below it last week and was pushed right back up into it again last week. Just be very, very careful. The problem is on the downside, there's a lot of support below. You've got these EMAs here, a lot of previous support. For me to short this pair, I'd have to see it clear this, close below it, then retest, and then I would possibly be interested in shorting it. The weekly was still in this channel, this upward channel. If you had pinged it off this downward channel, you'd be up 584 pips right now. So careful on this pair. There's an election coming up. It's a bit iffy-affy. A lot of traders are weary here. We don't really know what way it's going. All of it hinges on the UK economy, which cannot be sorted out until either the government in there continues or a new government is taking place. Nothing will get done. All the politicians are off, so we don't really know what's happening here at the moment. This pair will be news-driven, so just be very, very careful. The Swissy, in no man's land at the moment. Areas of interest, possible short at 106.50, which is 650 would be here at the 50% of the fib. As you can see, we fibbed the move up, it came back down. It was, it was at the 61.8. We all thought that was it and was going to explode back up again, and then what you get to know, we wake up this morning and it's gapped down. The euro gapped up, this is going to gap down, no doubt. I'm not confident on the moment on this pair, so because it's correlated with the euro, a bit weary and just kind of leaving it go really a moment. The pound, euro pound, I said to you yesterday, this pair I think will dictate where the euro dollar and the pound dollar go this week. What I would probably say on this pair, it jumped over the resistance line, as you can see. It pinged back below it and is now being pushed right back up to the top. It's at resistance at 88.44. It's still in a downtrend technically, and as it all with all things euro tomorrow, wait for things to become clearer. Price is now back on top of an upward trend line. I ever get the feeling somebody is yanking your chain really, I think, with the euro at the moment. The euro is so undecided at the moment. As I said last night, watch this pair. This pair I believe will lead the way for the euro dollar, pound dollar this week, and I'm interested to short it. If it gets to 8900, I'm interested to short it. On the daily, if you look at the daily, you have a convergence, a lot of EMAs up here. You got the 5889, the 200 on the daily, and on the 4 hour you have more EMAs. If you look on the 4 hour, they're also converging there. A lot of resistance at 8900. So if it gets up there, I'd definitely be interested in putting a short. I'll have an order placed to short that pair. Euro yen, this is it on the pound. This is it on the hour. Gapped way up last night. As we can see, it gapped up 112 pips. It is now at previous. It's found support at 126.60. So again, with euro related, it's not a pure pair. It's a cross pair. Leaving it alone. A little bit weary. There's not really a lot. Tomorrow's going to tell a lot with a lot of pairs tomorrow. The Aussie dollar, as I said yesterday, that I would be interested if price pulls back to at least 92.65 and ideally 92.35 areas, which it did today. It came back to 92.47 and found support there. It actually came back to 92.39 at the moment. Those of you that took this trade, you would have earlier got into 30 to 40 pips profit. You could have taken half off and moved your stop to break even, which I hope you did. If you did that, you would be out now with half 30 to 40 pips profit. Those of you who didn't, who left it ride, you probably, hopefully, did not allow it go into a loss. If you did, I hope you learned from it. Tomorrow, these areas are crucial. I'd watch the Bollinger Bands at market open tomorrow. If the upper band slams shut, then that would suggest to move back down, at least in the short term. If it stays open, look for bounces back up again tomorrow. So the dollar CAD, again, we're still in this. It's still at 1002. It's hardly moving. I said to you this last week. It's going to stay here for a while they battle it out. Leave them battle out. Do not join in. Do not let them help sort it out. And as you can see here, we're coming down. We've got a little pennant forming. So what will happen is this will break out one way or the other. When it breaks out, we could have a nice move. So wait for it to break out of this pennant, and which could happen before the end of the week. Maybe not. It might be next week. But just leave it alone. Price will show you what it wants to do. So let it show you. Dollar yen. I explained yesterday, technically we are still in an uptrend, so price could just bounce back up off the 93 again. But we had very small moves here the last few days, very small. If you're trading from daily charts, you'll have to wait for a breakout and a pullback later in the week. Those of you who can trade during the day, look at the 4 hour and even the 1 hour. If you go to the 4 hour, we are in a pennant. This will break out tomorrow. Very latest, early hours of Asia. Not Asia coming, the one after, which will be the 14th of April, or very latest then. It will break out, and once it breaks out, we should get a 200 pip move. So, because what you do, you're in a pennant, you take the apex of that, and let me show you quickly, you take the apex of that, and just for hindsight, say we break down. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to break down, I think we're going to break up. But just for argument's sake, if I show you what will happen, what you do is you get the apex of that and you move it down there.